There is a voice inside you that speaks so quietly, so steadily, that most days it's drowned out by the clamor of everything else. It does not shout, it does not plead, it waits, patiently, like a tree growing unseen in the forest, its roots deepening long before a leaf ever meets the sun. This voice is not trying to keep up with the world. It is trying to keep up with you. But the world has 1,000 voices, loud ones. They speak in headlines, in algorithms, in timelines and expectations. They ask you to become someone, to chase after images, names, numbers, titles. They teach you to dress like this, speak like that, believe in this, and never question too loudly. The world is loud and it is fast. It rewards those who move in formation, yet the formation is often a circle, running, endlessly circling what never feels like home. What the world won't tell you is that peace doesn't live out there. It's not earned by obedience or bought by applause. It lives in the quiet places within you that you've been taught to ignore. The places where longing sits like still water, where knowing waits in silence. We are born knowing, not with facts, but with feeling. A soft but solid sense of what feels true. Before words, before shame, before we learned to edit ourselves for approval, we moved with an honesty that cannot be taught. Watch a child dance alone in a room. That is the language of the heart unfiltered, before the noise tells them to sit still, to behave, or to doubt. Somewhere along the line, you were told not to trust yourself. Maybe not in words, but in the gaze that corrected you, in the laugh that dismissed you, in the rules that boxed you in. You were told to be reasonable, to be realistic, to be safe. But safe often means silent, and realistic often means small. The world will not tell you that the things that make you feel alive might not make you money. That truth may lose you friends. That joy might look foolish. That healing may be messy. That real success has more to do with alignment than achievement. That your worth was never meant to be measured by comparison. You already know these things. Somewhere deep in the architecture of your being, you know that there are people you must walk away from, paths you must leave, even if they were paved in gold. You know that there are dreams inside you that didn't come from nowhere. They came from within, born of some unseen thread connecting who you are to who you are becoming. But the world will say, you're naive, idealistic, strange. It will hand you a mirror made of everyone else's reflections and ask you to find yourself. In it, you'll search for your face, but only find fragments, pieces of other people's desires, fears, stories. They do not belong to you. There is a wilderness within you, untamed, full of firelight and quiet streams and the howl of something ancient, and it is not meant to be fenced in. The soul does not grow in straight lines. It curves and circles, moves in seasons, listens to rhythms no clock can measure. You don't need more opinions. You need more silence. Not the silence that comes from being silenced, but the silence that comes from listening, not to the world, but to yourself, to the faint rustle of your own knowing, to the voice beneath the voices. You already know when something isn't right, when a room drains your energy, when a job clips your wings, when a relationship shrinks you. Your heart speaks in sensations, not sentences, in gut feelings, tension, lightness, restlessness, but we're taught to override it, to explain it away, to trust the outer maps over our inner compass. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to unfold, and unfolding is not efficient. It is not impressive. It is not always visible, but it is sacred. It is slow. It is yours. The world will celebrate your performance, but your soul craves your presence. One is about how you are seen, the other is about how you feel. You can be applauded and still feel empty. You can be admired and still feel unknown. So much of modern life is a performance. We are rewarded for pretending to be okay, pretending to know, pretending to care. And the more we pretend, the more we forget how to return. But return we must. Return to the mornings when you woke with wonder. Return to the nights when you cried and felt more real than ever. Return to the places where your laughter didn't need permission. To the art you made before you called yourself an artist. To the way your body moved when no one was watching. The heart remembers, even when the mind forgets. Even when the world distracts you with noise and shine and rules. Even when your feet have walked too far down the wrong path, there is still a way back. You are not broken. You are buried under layers of expectation, of roles, of masks, of shoulds and musts, and this is just the way it is. But just because something is common does not mean it is true. Just because something is popular does not mean it is right. Just because something works for others does not mean it is meant for you. You have not lost your way. You have only lost your listening. The noise is strong, but you are stronger. The world is fast, but you are deeper. The path may be unclear, but your feet remember where the ground is. There is wisdom in your resistance. If something feels wrong, it probably is. If something feels empty, no amount of decoration will make it full. If something feels fake, you don't have to stay. The voice in your chest is not just an emotion. It is intelligence. It is guidance. It is memory. Memory of who you were before the world told you who to be. You do not have to argue for your truth. You do not have to prove your worth. You do not have to explain your joy. What matters most cannot be defended. It can only be lived. You can walk away from things that don't feel right without knowing what comes next. You can trust your timing without rushing to meet someone else's deadline. You can stand still and still be moving. Some will say you are lost, that you've changed, that you're behind. But they do not see the seed beneath the soil, the roots growing deeper, the quiet strength building in your stillness. You are not a brand. You are not a product. You are not a trend. You are a living mystery, a poem still being written, a song still finding its melody. Do not reduce yourself to what can be measured. Do not silence yourself for comfort. Do not betray yourself for belonging. You do not need fixing. You need remembering. Remember the way your heart beats when something matters. Remember the way your skin feels in the sun. Remember the hunger that lives not in your stomach, but in your spirit. The longing for something real, something whole, something true. The world will keep selling you answers, but the heart does not deal in transactions. It deals in truth. There will be moments when your inner voice is all you have, when no one else sees it, when no one else agrees, when no one else understands. Trust it anyway, because the ones who change the world are not the ones who follow it. The world won't tell you that your softness is strength, that your tears are a river of release, that your solitude is sacred, that your doubts are doorways, that your quiet is powerful. The world won't tell you that the most beautiful parts of you are the ones you hide, the ones that haven't been polished for presentation, the ones that feel too tender to expose, the ones that tremble but still speak. But you know the difference between surviving and living, between being seen and being known. between achieving and becoming, between existing and being fully, deeply, breathtakingly alive. And the heart, that brave companion, has never stopped whispering, even when you weren't listening, even when you chose the louder path, even when you betrayed your own knowing for the comfort of approval. It waited, and now, perhaps, you are ready to listen, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You have begun to feel the ache of pretending, the hollowness of applause, the exhaustion of performance. And in that space of quiet ache, the whisper becomes louder. Come back to the place where you trust yourself, where your no is holy, where your yes is honest, where your life is not a reaction, but a creation. Come back to your own rhythm, your own roots, your own light. What the world won't tell you, your heart already knows, and it's been waiting.